Hey guys, how you doing? Today we're taking a look at one of the most exciting budget smartphones of the year, and that's the Xiaomi Redmi Note 15 5G. Xiaomi promised a huge AMOLED display, stereo speakers, a 108 megapixel camera, strong battery life and modern 5G performance, all at a very attractive price. Now on paper that almost sounds too good to be true. Of course at this price point there are some compromises, but the big question is, how good is the overall package in everyday use really? Now, I've been using the Redmi Note 15 5G for several days now, and today I will tell you whether the smartphone is truly worth it or if you should rather go for a more expensive model. Now, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more tech reviews, and like always, you will find a link to the smartphone down below in the description. The Redmi Note 15 5G is a real giant smartphone with its 6.77-inch display. But in the hand, it feels surprisingly slim and light. With just 7.35 millimeters in thickness and a weight of 178 grams, it feels much more comfortable than you would expect from a phone of this size. This is mainly thanks to the slightly curved edges on both the front and the back, which makes the phone more pleasant to hold compared to mini boxy devices with flat frames. Especially in 2026 when mini smartphones feel like small bricks, this design actually feels refreshingly comfortable. My glacier blue version looks really stylish in everyday use. The back feels modern and slightly playful without looking cheap. There's also a black version for those who prefer a more minimal look. However, the back is prone to small scratches, so I would definitely recommend reusing the case right away. Luckily, Xiaomi still includes a protective case in the box. The camera module sticks out only slightly and hardly bothers in daily use. However, it also doesn't provide a real resting point for one-handed use. Now on the front, Xiaomi uses reinforced protective glass and claims it can survive drops from up to 1.8 meters. As screen protectors already applied at the factory, with its IP65 certification, the Redmi Note 15 5G is protected against dust and splashes of water. Rain or wet hands are no problem, but of course you shouldn't submerge it in water. Now without a doubt, the absolute highlight of the Redmi Note 15 5G is the display. You get a 6.77-inch AMOLED panel with Full HD Plus resolution of 2392 by 1080 pixels and a refresh rate of up to 120 Hz. The image looks razor sharp, contrasts are strong, blacks are deep, and colors appear vivid without being overdone. Thanks to 12-bit color depth, videos, photos, and social media content look really impressive. What's especially impressive is the brightness of up to 3200 nits, which makes the display easy to read even in direct sunlight. Auto brightness works reliably, although in very dark environments it could be slightly dimmer. For sensitive eyes, Xiaomi includes reading modes and TÜV certifications for low light and flicker-free viewing. When it comes to the sound, Xiaomi uses stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos and even a 300% volume boost. The speaker gets very loud and sound is clear, but there's also almost no bass. For videos and podcasts this is perfectly fine, but for music I would recommend using Bluetooth headphones. The phone is unlocked by an optical in-display fingerprint sensor. It works reliably as long as your fingers aren't wet or dirty. It's not the fastest sensor on the market, but for the price range it's absolutely fine. There's also face unlock using the front camera. On the software side, the Redmi Note 15 5G runs on HyperOS 2 based on Android 15. The interface looks modern and colorful and offers a huge amount of customization. Icons, animations, lock screen, always on display, and themes can all be personalized extensively. A positive point is that Xiaomi promises several years of security updates in Europe. However, you should not expect major Android versions upgrades very quickly. Less positive is Xiaomi's well-known weakness, that's pre-installed apps and ads. There are various games, shopping apps, and recommendations that you first need to uninstall or disable. So plan some extra time after the initial setup to clean everything up. Storage options include 6 gigs of RAM with 128 gigs or 8 gigs of RAM with 256 gigs of storage. Using the hybrid slot, you can expand storage with a microSD card up to 1 TB or use 2 SIM cards. There's no eSIM, but NFC for contactless payments is included. Inside the Redmi Note 15 5G, you will find a Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 paired with up to 8 gigs of RAM. This is not a high-end processor, but it is a clear improvement over the older Redmi Note chipsets. In everyday use, the phone runs smoothly. Browsing, WhatsApp, Instagram or YouTube, multitasking and streaming work without major issues. Apps open quickly and switching between them is reliable. Gaming performance is solid for this price class. Games like PUBG and Call of Duty Mobile run stably on medium to low settings with good frame rates. More demanding titles like Genshin Impact are playable, but only really smooth with reduced graphic settings. A positive point is temperature management. Even during longer gaming sessions, the phone stays relatively cool and only gets slightly warm. The battery is a generous 5520 mAh and delivers a very good battery life. With normal usage, including social media, some gaming, videos and navigations, I easily get through a full day. With more moderate use, 2 days are realistic. In standby, the phone loses very little battery, so if you use it sparingly, you can even get close to 3 days without charging. Now, charging is done via cable at up to 45 watts with turbocharge. However, no power adapter is included in the box, so you will need a compatible charger. Wireless charging is also not available in this price range. Now, on the back there is a 108 megapixel main camera paired with an 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera. Additional sensors are only used for depth effects. In good lighting conditions, the main camera delivers sharp photos with decent colors and solid dynamic range. For social media and everyday shots, the quality is more than sufficient. In low light, detail clearly drops, especially with moving subjects. Night mode can brighten scenes, but it takes longer to process and is not always reliable. There is no optical zoom, only digital zoom. The ultra-wide camera is useful for landscapes, but its image quality is clearly weaker than the main camera. Video recording with the main camera is possible up to 4K and 30 FPS, otherwise 1080p at 30 FPS. Stabilization is okay, but not outstanding. Now on the front there's a 20 megapixel selfie cam that takes decent selfies in daylight. Video recording is limited to 1080p at 30 FPS. Now for vlogs and video calls, the quality is absolutely fine. All in all, the Redmi Note 15 5G is an extremely attractive budget smartphone. It offers a large and bright AMOLED display, very good battery life, solid performance, 5G support, and a usable everyday camera. Of course, there are some compromises. The camera is fairly basic, performance is not meant for hardcore gamers, and the software includes quite a bit of pre-installed ads and apps. On top of that, major Android updates will not arrive particularly quickly, but if you are looking for an affordable smartphone with a great display, strong battery life and modern features, the Redmi Note 15 5G is definitely worth a look. And guys, that's already it for today, so I guess I will see you in the next one.